While learning and teaching from home in April 2020, I challenged my Introduction to Engineering Design students to create 3D CAD models of items in their homes. Here are some of their plans and results.
Okay, so I ended up making the nail polish bottle too, just because I didn't know whether to stick with the Elmer's glue or not, but because I couldn't do the ridges, I thought I'd do this instead. So I started on the bottom with the square and did a fillet around the edges to make them more softened because there's a little like curve to them. They're not exactly pointy. Then extruded that a little, made another square with the same thing, filleted those edges, extruded them a lot, made the same square I did on the bottom up on the top because they're even. I measured them, extruded it the same way, did a revolve around for the cap, revolve, and then because this is like an indent right here, I made a square on the face of this extruded that down, and then made text and extruded that. Okay, so this is the final product, and I think it's a lot more accurate than the Elmer's glue.
So this is the thing I'm building. So it's a dresser slash nightstand. It is square and there is a drawer, which I'm going to try to get to work. Maybe. Fingers crossed. It's got a shelf. It's got this little handle. So yeah, let me show you what I got so far. So these are the dresser plans that I have so far. These are the dimensions that I wrote down. So I usually just wrote down the ones I wasn't super sure on what I was going to do with, which is like, this is the top, this is the leg, which is revolve, and this is the plan for the handle. So here we go to the Computadora. So here it is. I have started assembling it. So yeah. The top I did with 2 extrudes, and they were intersect extrudes, so I only created material where they crossed. These are all extrudes on different offset planes. The legs are all revolves. The shelf is an extrude. And then I'm going to do a revolve for the handle, which I think is going on the front, so right here-ish. And it's probably going to be on a plane going that way. I'm going to do the rectangular pieces at the top of these legs, so those are probably going to be extrude mixed with revolve, maybe with a little bit of loft on it, because I think I'm going to have to extrude intersect maybe 2 shapes that are kind of like that, and then loft it down to here and up to there, but we shall see. So yeah, I might try to get the drawer to work too by doing an extrude in reverse and then doing like a separate piece for the drawer. But there it is. Also, side note, all of my dimensions are in inches because I don't really have a lot of metric rulers. Okay, so here's the finished dresser. So it is done. I was able to get the legs to work. The way I did that was a revolve, so I did an arc and a rectangle, revolve that, and then I revolved it only 90 degrees. Then what I did is I cut away from 2 sides of it with 2 face removal extrudes. Then what I did is reflected it 4 times to form one 4-sided piece that's like the same on each side. So that's how I did that. I adjusted the leg a little, so this is like more to scale than it used to be. Another thing worth mentioning is that this is filleted. It wasn't filleted earlier because it was sticking out, so I filleted it so it would fit better with the legs. Yeah, and then there's the drawer. So let me get in there. So the drawer has its handle, which was a revolve. Then we have a separate piece, which when I remove it, part 2, you can see inside the drawer, and you can see those are the supports, and then that's the drawer itself. And so yeah, I can take the drawer out so you can see well, there's the drawer itself. Okay, so now here it is without the drawer. So just the supports, and you can see in there, make part 2 visible again. And then I can add the drawer back in. So yeah, the drawer has its little stopper on it. Everything's great. There it is. And here's the actual dresser it was based off of, like you can see what I mean with the leg thing. And here's the underside of the drawer with the dresser. So when I pull it out,